Hello, my name's Kim Brown, and my husband and I are the owners of a 56-foot oyster sailing yacht. We've owned the yacht now for 2 years. We've been sailing around the Mediterranean and recently crossed the Atlantic Ocean, and we're now in the Caribbean. As I record this right now, I'm in Antigua. The name Britican stands for British and American put together. My husband Simon is British, I'm American, and our 5-year-old, almost 6-year-old is both. So she is Britican. Okay, so I've put this video together for a couple of reasons. The first reason is because, and I'll go into more detail as you progress through the video, but when I was a kid I always wanted to be an artist or a writer. And I was told that artists don't make money. I have to train to be an accountant. So I actually did train to become an accountant, and I hated it. So after 2 years of accountancy, I switched over to business management, and I think I eked my way through that. And then I went on, started some companies and spent 8 years building up my last company, which almost gave me a nervous breakdown. But anyway, my point is that I spent my life trying to be something that wasn't right for me. And we ended up saying, forget this, let's, quit the rat race, have enough money for us to sail around the world for a while, luckily. I managed to sell my business or sell my shares. But what's happened in the last 2 years is that I've created this sailingbritican.com blog, and then I started doing videos, which I had absolutely no clue. I still actually don't have any clue on what I'm doing, but I'm really enjoying it. And people are writing to me saying that they're enjoying my videos, so that's really, really cool. Thank you if you said that you enjoyed my videos. There's a few things, well, there's quite a few things I need to learn. Back to the point. So, spent my life doing something I didn't like, ended up saying, screw this, let's sell everything, buy a boat, and sail around. It's now 2 years later after we sold the boat and have been sailing around. And I've really been enjoying writing, creating the blog, building it up, and I've created a couple books, which I'll go into detail, and some other stuff. But I feel like I want to progress this. Like I want to carry on. I want to make it bigger. I just want to build it. And it's great to find something that you like to do. And I was able to find it without being pressured into it. It just happened. So that's one reason for the video. I want to explain the background to that, how it's happened, and where we are. The other thing that I'm kind of toying with, and this will all fit in the end, is that I'd love to create a way for viewers to come sailing with us. So I won't give any more away than that, because I'm not sure how it's going to happen. But I think maybe through a particular website, which I'm going to explain, I think maybe we can create a way where maybe you can come sailing with us, and we can find a way to pay for it. If payment is a problem, if payment's not a problem, give me an email. We always are welcoming people to come sailing with us. But a lot of people indicate to me that they might not have the funds to fly out to where we are and come sailing with us. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking and watch the video. I put some pictures there so you don't have to look at me talking the whole time, and recorded a little voiceover to the pictures. So yeah, let me get on with it, and please tell me what you think. Thank you. Instead of having you watch me talk throughout this video, I've pulled in a series of photos I've taken over the past couple years while sailing around the Mediterranean and the Caribbean. The pictures include images of the boat, family, friends, and a variety of places that we've seen throughout our travels. On to my story. In 2014, my family and I left life on land in an effort to choose life's course, rather than to have it laid out before us. I was disillusioned with life. After living through my teens and 20s, I spent 8 years during my 30s growing a very successful company, but looking back, I feel the journey wasn't as fulfilling as I thought it would be. Sure, I was financially successful, but I wasn't fulfilled. I felt empty and lost. After doing everything I was supposed to do, like go to school, go to university, get a good job, get married, and have a baby, I felt as if I did all the right things, but perhaps the world wasn't right for me. In the end, I had a big house, a big car, and loads of stuff, but I felt dead inside. I felt like I was surviving and certainly not thriving. In addition to questioning my personal life, I started to take a deeper look at all our worldly institutions. Before we sold everything and sailed away, I felt as if our core establishments were, and still are, totally messed up. The education system often puts individual children's needs last. The healthcare system focuses on reactive care rather than proactive measures. The banks make billions off our money, yet we barely get any interest in return. The political arena is a circus. The news is all about the 1% of bad stuff in the world and nothing about the 99% of good. And what really drives me crazy is to see so many children aspire to be famous, whether through sports, music, or movies, when a good majority of our famous role models display anything but honorable values. A sports person that cheats on his or her partner, gets drunk, does drugs, makes offensive public displays, and is dripping in designer clothes while driving his or her Porsche is more valued than a profession of saving lives, helping the community prosper, or being a stay-at-home parent. So rather than complain about the world being broken, my husband and I left it. We got rid of everything we own and sailed off into a sunset. To this day, I'm still not sure if we're running away, but thus far our lives have drastically changed for the better. Part of me thinks that the world is still broken and I'm just putting my head in the sand and pretending it's not there. However, another part of me feels like I'm a pioneer. My family and I are like those first families that left the old world in search of a new one. Rather than seek out religious freedom or find roads paved with gold, our goal was to start from scratch, to determine what would make our lives more fulfilling, and then to do it. Instead of seeking out new land, we started seeking a new way of life. We wanted to find a work-life balance instead of work, work, work. We wanted to enjoy time as a family instead of being passing ships throughout the day. We wanted to actually eat our meals together and interact rather than watch mind-numbing TV. Hubby and I wanted to find a community of people with similar values that were also eager to push aside what society now deems normal or successful and find our own path. We wanted to take better care of ourselves, to eat well, sleep well, get active, and overall thrive instead of survive. We wanted to create an education system that helps our daughter to be the best she can be. It's now been 2 years since we left land and embarked on our sail up and sail away adventure. Have we met any of our goals? Have we created a new world? You bet we have. Our lives are now more fulfilling than they have ever been. We are no longer surviving. We are flowing with life, and it's the most amazing experience we've ever had. We wake up and are eager to live. And notice that I'm not saying we are happier. Our lives are freaking hard. We do not have it easy. Going on a sailing vacation is one thing. Living full-time on a boat is another. We have serious problems often, sometimes life-threatening. I get seasick anytime there's a slight swell, and from time to time puke over and over and over again. And if I'm not puking, I'm laying in our bed looking green. We've been caught in some massive storms where I've feared for our lives. Our shower is rarely hot or warm. We have to make all our food from scratch, which can take hours, and often we have very little choice. We have barely any possessions, just a sailboat, a few t-shirts, some books, and a pair of flip-flops. And sometimes it's difficult to have so little. Going to the store to get milk can take hours, and often it results in long-life milk rather than the fresh stuff. We get ripped off often because we don't know where the non-touristy grocery stores are, and sometimes things break and we're stuck somewhere for weeks at end. I could go on and on about the difficulties of living life as a full-time sailing cruiser. However, although it's not easy, it sure is fulfilling. Again, I'm using the word fulfilling. In my old life, I was on automatic pilot and I existed. Now I'm awake, conscious, and boy, am I on one heck of a ride. So that's what Britican's all about. It's about consciously choosing life's course. I'm not interested in being famous or being a leader. I'm in no need of making millions. I've already discovered that chasing the almighty buck left my life lacking. I am, however, interested in reporting about our journey so that others can perhaps create a more fulfilling life too. Now, don't get me wrong, we certainly don't have everything worked out. We mess up all the time and are not the best role models in the world. We are, however, choosing life's course, and based on the hundreds of emails I get every month, I know that we're not alone in our ambitions. On a daily basis, I get one of two types of people contacting me. The first are the people that are getting ready to do what we've done. They're putting things in place to sell up and sail away. And the other type of people that contact me are those that always wished they were able to do what we've done, but are now past the age or their health won't allow them to make a drastic lifestyle change. So they write me saying that they're vicariously living through our journey. Based on my viewers, I feel as if I'm helping to educate and entertain. What an excellent mix. My hope is that whoever is attracted to what I create, whether it's a book, article, video, or podcast, that they're able to take away something that helps increase the fulfillment in their life. In case you haven't seen any of my creations yet, I create information, mostly articles and videos, about day-to-day life on a boat, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I showcase various anchorages, moorings, and marinas. I record our day trips up volcanoes, down waterfalls, and other land-based explorations. And from time to time, I publish videos that show me at my lowest, like when I describe what it feels like to live through a Force 10 storm, or when I'm at my highest, like my video of watching my husband jump off our boat and swim next to a sperm whale. And the most popular section of my sailing content actually falls under the heading, The Journey. Within this area, I discuss my thoughts, fears, feelings, excitement, and sometimes the meaning of life. I'd like to think that my content provides something for everyone, whether my reader or viewer is a sailor or not. For me, sailing Britican isn't just about sailing. It's about a family deciding to consciously choose life's course rather than to do what society says we're supposed to do. All that being said, I've had an increasing amount of people asking how they can best support me on my mission to educate and entertain. Last week, one lovely guy wrote to me saying that he loves my content so much, but he didn't know how to support me, so he's been clicking on the advertisements on my website. Every time somebody clicks on one of those adverts, I get a few cents. I quickly responded to the kind gentleman saying, too many clicks by one person will get me banned, so don't do that anymore, but thank you for the intention. The same day, I received an email from somebody that purchased both my sailing-related books on Amazon. If you don't already know, I currently have 2 books on Amazon. One is offering templates for VHF communications, so how to broadcast a Mayday, Pan, Securite, and so forth. And the other book is full of useful checklists for sailors regarding maintenance, cleaning, provisioning, crewing, and more. Anyway, the man that purchased the books emailed me saying that he loved both of them and asked if there's any other books that I've written that he could buy. I've also had several people buy my nautical t-shirts, belts, jewelry, and galley spice blends that I sell on my Sailing Britican Etsy store. Many of my customers email me to say that they just had to buy something to support my work. And recently, I had someone leave a Facebook comment on my Sailing Britican page saying that if I was on Patreon, they'd happily support me. So then I had to go research what Patreon is. So let me tell you about that. Patreon is this awesome website that allows artists to creatively release their talents online in return for getting a small amount of money from many admirers. Artists on Patreon include fictional writers, musicians, painters, comic story creators, movie makers, and people sailing around the world documenting the journey and more. Patreon comes from the word patronage. Back in the good old days, artists would seek out wealthy benefactors to sponsor their work. The hope was that the benefactor would help the artist grow in popularity, and one day the artist would be able to make it on his or her own 2 feet. While I was growing up, I and many others were told, artists don't make money, be an accountant. During my generation, the whole concept of patronage was lost. But that's until Patreon came around. Using the ability to connect with people all over the world through the internet, Patreon allows artists the ability to create articles, movies, music, podcasts, and more, and ask followers to contribute a small amount for each artistic expression. $1 here and there from one person doesn't amount to much, but $1 from thousands of people can make a massive difference. With a large following, a would-be miserable accountant can now explore their creative expression instead and get funded for doing so by the small patronage of several followers. Patreon offers quality content producers and artists the ability to choose life's course rather than be forced into accountancy or any other skill set that's not suitable. Anything that helps people express his or her true talents has got to be a good thing. So with Patreon, you can choose how much money you'd like to offer the content producer per item, say a video, and you can cap it so that you only spend a limited amount per month. Some patrons pledge $10 a video, capping it at a total of $40 a month, and others spend way less or way more. Content producers are able to reward patrons for different levels of patronage. For a few dollars a month, entry-level patrons might get the privileged access to a creation, whether it's a video, article, or game, a day before it's released to the general public. And for higher levels, patrons might receive merchandise, special gifts, or invites to special on- or offline events. So as you can probably see, the whole concept of Patreon is totally in alignment with Sailing Britican's notion about choosing life's course. It's a website set up to help people explore their natural talents rather than push them aside and do what society says is correct. Not only do I want to support artists on Patreon, I'm excited to become one of them. Considering that you're probably interested in sailing, hence watching this video, please check out Sailing La Vagabond, Follow the Boat, and Sailing Uma, as these three content creators are similar to Sailing Britican and they're currently using the Patreon service. And of course, please check out my Patreon page to discover if you'd like to become a patron of Sailing Britican. By becoming a patron, you will help me to continue to deliver my message about choosing life's course while we document our sailing around the world adventures and mishaps. Hopefully not too many mishaps. When I get to a certain income milestone, which I haven't calculated yet, I'd like to offer the opportunity for a patron and their family to join us for a sail. We love having company, and we'd love to share our travels with others. So who knows, perhaps you'll not only become a patron, but you'll join us for a sail in Britican and help us to choose life's course. Thanks for listening to me, and have a brilliant day.